Welcome to Club Damingo, brought to you by Cyclone Comics.
Good morning, Tim. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
How are you?
I'm going okay. It's summer here. I had to open up a window to get a bit of a breeze coming through.
Finally, you got some of summer?
Yeah, and Rusty the cat is looking at me as if to say, shut that window. What's going on? And in the valley at the moment, it's hay baling time. So the last couple of days in between showers and wet weather, we've just had tractors, we've had balers, we've had, like trucks full of hay just going left, right and centre. The whole valley is just trying to get this stuff, cut and baled in a hurry before the weather sets in.
Right.
Hay spoils.
Well, so, before winter gets here in a week and a half.
Exactly right. Yeah. Although I think we're going to have a long, hot summer here, to be totally honest. But it's that time of year where, all the hay is coming off the paddock. So we've still got to have ours done, but we've got someone coming in to do that. But we're always last on the list. So, but it's funny. You sit out in the front veranda and look at the valley to have a nice, quiet 5 minutes. Just all this industrial farm equipment going left, right, and centre, and going into paddocks and coming back out of paddocks, and people yelling at each other and swearing and arguing. And,
cool. I was going to ask if you were getting yours done. So yeah, you get someone to come in and
yeah.
Is it actual hay? Like what's hay? Like you just had grass, didn't you? Or is it not grass that you have there? Is it?
That's a farmer's question. It's
Well, you live on a property. You're that close to being a farmer.
Yeah. It's hay. It's a pain in the ass is what it is. Yeah. But anyway, hey Belle, what's on our paddock? Is it actual hay or is it something else?
It's not that gay. It's not hay.
It's not hay. What is it? Is it something else exotic?
It's cut. It's hay. It's grass.
Yeah, it's grass that when it's cut, it becomes hay.
Right.
Hey,
but
my girlfriend.
My grass doesn't become hay. My grass becomes grass clippings.
Yeah, that's lawn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can't say that, Belle. I'm not saying it. That's just bad enough going, hey.
I don't know what she said. We heard a little bit of what else she was saying, but I didn't hear that last bit. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably
finally get a little guest appearance from Belle.
You'll get her on camera soon. Yeah, she's running away now. Anyway.
Brilliant. Cheers.
No jokes, I'm running away. I'm going to town.
Oh, okay. Hold on a sec. Have to have a message from Belle. So you're going into town, are you? Okay.
For spectacles.
Oh, okay. Rightio.
And shed to shine,
play around. Yep. Okay. No worries. See you in a couple of hours or more. See you tonight. See you tomorrow.
Bye, Belle.
Yes. Bye. Bye, Tim. Hey.
She's an old hippie, I'm sure.
She's just a hippie. She's not that old.
No, that's as in used to be a hippie. Still a hippie?
Once a hippie from way back. Once a hippie, always a hippie.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Fantastic.
Anyway, I'll edit all that stuff out.
Speaking of editing,
my editing skills are going fantastically. I get so much practice now.
Yeah, so halfway through the week, last week, you said, "Have you watched the end of the episode yet?" Where I had to edit on the
Louis Joyce post-credit scene. Yes.
Yeah. Were you saying, have you seen the fact that I cut you off halfway through a sentence?
So you have watched it.
I have watched it, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Because Tim he's not a big fan of the show. He doesn't follow the show at all, kiddies.
Shit. Oh, I can't stand it.
Yeah. Well,
Speaking of which,
industrial. Hold on a sec.
Oh, I can't hear it. You're fine if it's worried about the noise.
No, I just was worrying that Belle might have driven into a tractor coming past. So, yeah, no, that's okay.
Getting a bit of an insight into rural Chaloner here.
It's chaos. It's
Farmer
chaos.
Chaloner.
Yeah. Plus, any tick of the clock, there will be a tractor rolling up our driveway to start doing our hay or slash our hay. So you get it slashed first, and it all falls over. And then there's another vehicle comes in with a fluffer on the back, which is a machine that just turns around and lightly fluffs the hay to get air in it, let it dry. And then after half a day or a day or so of it drying out, then the baler comes in and puts it all together and turns it into squares or rounds, puts a blue string around it and spits it out, poos it out the back. And
hey, you used to do some part-time work as a fluffer, right? That was one of your old jobs.
Hey,
I don't know if you know what a fluffer is. So
I think so. You tell what's a fluffer, Tim?
I'm not telling the kiddies at home what a fluffer is, and don't go looking it up either. We'll talk about it after.
A fluff's what I do when I've had a bad curry.
Yeah, that too. Or a good curry. I think a good curry helps a lot.
Watch out. Belle hasn't left yet, and there's a laugh coming up from I thought you'd gone. That was just a plot to see whether we talk about you or not. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Well, very cool. Farmer Chaloner and
Chaloner. Yeah. So,
yeah, because we haven't even done a whole year's worth of these yet, so we're still working our way through the seasons. They're in.
That's right.
In the farm de la Chaloner, or what, I don't know, Chateau Chaloner.
And this is our first one for the year, officially the first show that's actually filmed in the year. So
yes,
New Year.
Yes. Happy New Year to you as well.
That's right, yes. Although we won't go into overseas politics or activity that's going on over there at all. Of course, it's a downer, man.
Wow. It's full on.
Okay, is that all we have? We'll see you next week.
Yeah, what a cool supervillain he's turning into. Can't wait to see the movie version of what's going on.
It's just insanity, craziness.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see a handful of those comic book virus vids that you recommended from YouTube from last week. We mentioned them last week.
Yeah.
And besides them being hilarious on the fashion front.
Yeah.
And grainy old VHS transferred to YouTube, it was great seeing some familiar faces and seeing some faces that I've matched up with names for the first time.
All right.
It was quite fun. I've gone through the first 6 or so. I have another session to finish off. There's 2 seasons, is that right?
Yeah, the first season is probably that 6 that you watched, and the second season, is there even 2 of them, or is there only 1? I think you're nearly done.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I know. I'm nearly done. Yeah. What about the show, though?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, fantastic. Great.
And the big takeaway that I was just burst out laughing several times while watching. The big takeaway, though, for me was that nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Like there's still a requirement for a decent distribution. Distribution seems to be the key problem in getting your product out to people.
Yeah.
It was just funny. The saying, maybe everyone should band together and form a comic imprint and help each other out, getting it out into the newsagents. There are no newsagents anymore, so even that avenue is shriveled on the vine.
Yeah.
And but there was still this railing outcry for, if only there was a decent distributor somewhere. NDD and Gordon and Gotcha, fucked.
So I think if you've watched you only watched the old ones, right? You didn't watch
so, because you told me there was 2 time periods. Is that right?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure somebody brings up the exact same thing in the later set of videos as well, which is incredible. And back in the old days of when we had forums, Australian comic forums on Oz Comics and Comics Australia and Pulp Faction. It would come up and like, again, we weren't that old then, but I was already feeling like one of the old guys on those forums, because somebody new would come in and say, this is what we need to do. We need to, and a lot of us, like I can remember, numerous of us who are still around today who would go, we've done this all. We've done it all. We know that sounds like a great idea, but it's, So, and it's still, does it still happen today? Do you see that every so often on like a Facebook chat? Somewhere at Facebook.
How do you get your comic out there? Is there a distributor to get in touch with?
No, more like in Australia, we need to all band together and create a co-op and, blah, blah, blah. And that's the solution. If only, so
it's not necessarily the solution.
No.
These videos, the first season of Comic Book Virus was filmed in 1997 or around that mark there as a historical staple. And so the follow-up was a couple of years later, you reckon? Or
more than a couple.
Oh, okay, right.
You wait till you see the difference between Clint Curie in between the two. It's quite a Because
I
Clint,
just,
if the kiddies at home haven't watched it, Clint doesn't hold a microphone. He holds a rubber chicken
I was going to
or a
say,
thigh bone
or a thigh bone, or a statue of Mary, or something like that as a
that's
microphone,
right. Yeah, exactly.
which is pretty bloody funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great fun.
And of course, being creative types and cartoonists and comic book people, their on-camera personality is quite deadpan in a lot of cases, and they're very nervous and they stumble over words and they look like they've just woken up. And it's all very pop culture and 2-minute noodles.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say a lot of share house environment going on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
a lot of poor, struggling artists trying to do something with their chosen medium.
Yeah, no, it's a great. I think it's an important thing to have a sit down and a watch, not only to see how things were done not so long ago. Well, then again, it's 2026 now, but 1997 wasn't that long ago in comparison to world history, I suppose. But my big takeaway, funnily enough, was it's the same thing: distribution, getting it out there.
Yeah. How do you make a living from it? What are you doing to supplement your income while you're trying to make comics? And that little conversation with Dylan Naylor, and I'm sorry I've forgotten the other gentleman that was on screen with him, where they were talking about Dylan was talking about maturing his comic output from the Dara and Dill showbag stuff into the pop culture and 2-minute noodles in drivel, to try to get a more mature audience and a more mature story being made. And they had their heads screwed on really well. Like that was a really good avenue, don't you think? But where did it go?
And also to find a mature audience, you do it in your mid-20s, then you wait until you're in your mid-50s, and there's your mature audience. The same people that would have bought it back then will buy it now. Exactly. There's your mature audience.
Yeah, true. And have you got your 2-minute noodles yet?
No.
Mine came in. So
is that an unboxing? Quick re-unboxing.
Very happy about that.
It's given me the irrits. It really is. You're one of the first ones to back these things on Kickstarter, and you're one of the last ones to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. If there was a that's the supplemental material. Yeah. That's the actual cover.
Yes.
Fantastic production values on it.
Yep. I like, from what I've seen, when the dust jacket comes off, there's a lovely wraparound illustration on the hard covers. You watch, you'll rip it now. Careful, it's okay.
I'm going to unwrap it rather than slide it off. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah. Stay sick. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I was looking actually for just a list of all of the people who contributed. Amazing. Angela Madrid, Bernard Callier, Brendan Tolley, Bruce Mutard, Clint Curie, Danica, Dylan Naylor, Ido Shot, Larry Harris, Glenn Smith, Greg Gates, James Paisley. That might have been the guy that was in the video with
right, yeah, okay.
Might be wrong. Jason Towers, Jeremy McPherson, Joe Waite, Kate Alley, Macad, ex-student of mine, Mandy Ord, Mike Nason, Owen Heitman, Ross Tesseriro, Ryan Vella, Simon Gray, Stephen Dodds, man, whatever happened to him, Stuart McKenney, Tamara Whiten, Tim Pyman, Trudy Cooper, Wei Chu Chan.
Wow, yeah.
It's a killer lineup.
Oh, it is, yeah. And the whole thing is there's a color section and then black and white as well. Right, okay. Might as well have a look at your copy on screen here, because it'll probably be a long wait before I get mine. Yeah. Whinge moan. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, it's a great snapshot of a time period, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the book design and what's in it and how it's been put together just looks absolutely lovely.
Yeah. And I almost didn't buy it. I was gonna eventually buy it, but I didn't back the Kickstarter until I was with Nat at Scamp, and he had a copy on his desk, and I said, "Oh, great, I'll buy it." And he said, "No, you can't buy that. That's the preview copy,
the sample."
The sample copy. I said, "Oh, well," because I didn't want to pay for the extra for what postage is going to cost. And he said, in the end, it'll be cheaper to buy it from the Kickstarter than buying it from Nat at the next con. He reckons it would have been cheaper to buy it. So I backed it there and then as a late backer. He had the late backer thing open.
Yeah. Can you grab the supplemental issue again and just flop it around front cover, back cover? So that's the finished inks, and the back cover is the rough pencils. Is that right?
No, not quite. Not quite.
Oh, right. Okay.
They're reasonably different illustrations.
Yeah, right. Okay. Now, in your opinion, the supplemental stuff that's in there, because I haven't seen it yet. What is it? Is it like stuff that could very well have been in the book itself, or not?
I haven't read it closely enough to know, because there is a big section in the back of the book that looks like it's behind the scenes sort of historical material. So I am wondering why there is this kind of stuff in the supplemental rather than in that book. But I'm not sure yet. I'll have to have a proper read to find that out.
Yeah.
I think this is like just weird ephemera sort of stuff. And it might have also been, Nat and Dylan trying to figure out a way to
nice.
make it more likely that you'd want to buy it on the Kickstarter. Maybe this, I don't know, is this not available at any other time, only on the Kickstarter maybe? I don't know.
I'm not sure myself.
Some pencil pages there from Marty Abel, who doesn't do enough comics.
Yeah. Maybe it was a case of the book was pretty much locked in at a page count and they were happy with the contents, and Dylan just kept on finding all this other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll ask him, of course, or he or Nat. But
that
could be because he's still digging it. He just the other day he posted something that he'd uncovered online or in his archives that he sort of punched up in Photoshop and posted online. So he might be coming across that stuff a lot. That was worthwhile putting the supplementary together.
Yeah. There seems to be a few contributors in here that weren't in that list that I just read.
Right. Okay.
So maybe, yeah. So yeah.
Well,
anyway,
if Dylan's watching or if Nat is watching, let us know the answers to these burning questions as to why the supplemental issue. Not that it's a big deal; it's nice having it, but it's not a problem. But looking very much forward to getting my copy and sitting down and having a good read.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't live so far away from the rest of the world, you probably have it by now.
I give it a day or two's grace being in Tassie with the postal system.
Yeah.
Usually when I get anything in the mail, when everyone in the on North Island in the mainland is getting their copies, I'll say, right, it'll be a couple of days away from there. So I'm usually right. But
I'm pretty sure they've been doing it in stages as well. Samuel got his copy a week or more ago, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah. And I sent my little PayPal payment covering the cost of payment. So you would have thought that my little tick next to my name. Yes. So there, I did the right thing. Oh.
Comic gods bless you.
Yes. Now, talking about comic book virus and then flopping over to Dylan and his pop culture from the mid-90s as well and the new edition, did you come across David Bird's Facebook post the other day where he got together with Phil Bentley and a handful of the Fox Comics alumni from the Minotaur gang, which I thought was quite lovely.
Yeah.
So, I've sort of written down some names here so I don't forget anyone. So apparently it's Phil's birthday soon, or has been around, or it's around early January. So happy birthday, Phil Bentley. And David Bird was there, Martin Trengove was there, Chris Johnson was there, and Lazarus Dobelski was there. Now, they're all Fox Comics alumni. Some of them are Ink Spots ones as well. But it's great that those guys have kept in touch and get together every now and then. Yeah. And Philip Bentley was a huge part of the Ledger Awards as chief judge for many, many years as well.
That's true. Yeah. He was actually like quite formative in making sure that the judging, while you and I were the overseers of the awards. Phil was very important in making sure that judging had consistency and oversight and was
transparent.
Really transparent and diligent, and thank the comic guides for Phil Bentley. Happy birthday, Phil.
Happy birthday, Phil. And your contributions to Australian comics, yes.
Yeah.
Right across the board. He's been around for donkey's years, so many more years.
Many more to come, I'm sure. Yeah, wow. There you go.
So
I did see that photo.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going into a vintage mode today. So the next thing is
You're
you've
gonna
got a
put it.
diary from 1996.
You're gonna put it like a filter over us, like a what do you call it?
Well, I don't know what year it is out there in the valley. It's probably 1976. So
Is
we're
it
playing
is
catch
it
up.
even? Is it even?
Is it even? Yeah.
Well, before I go into my 1996 diary, which turned
Yes.
up while I'm cleaning, that's why like there's a mess here again because so much stuff has turned up. We're finished now. The cleaning's finished. Oh, I've got some stuff to sell, but the cleaning and the dumping is finished. But like those posters on the floor there are the posters that we used to have at like OzCon back in the 90s that I would plaster my half of the booth with. And they're still in the garage, and I'm going to have a quick look through them to see if there's anything I should salvage or not. But yeah, they're probably all going to go. So yeah, all of that kind of stuff. But the other thing, let's quickly talk about before I bring out the diary, is this turned up.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I don't know how many people in Australia have that.
Is that
That's
what format is it? Is that a Sega or is it just a CD-ROM?
Let's have a look. So it's the Cyberswine, part cop, part machine, full bore hero, multi-path movie game.
Wow. Wow.
And you're asking me what format it is? It doesn't say. It's rated teen. Let's try to get this happening in front of a camera. Um, so if anybody wants to give me $1 million for it, it doesn't even have a scratch on it.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, I think like it's got a trademark on the logo from Multipath Movies. It was so, this was something that this company, Brilliant Digital Entertainment, was which I think was a part of Sega. Yeah, part of
Right.
Sega, I think. We're trying to push as a new and important kind of video game format, and only two games were ever made. This one, and I think Popeye. Um,
Right.
this
Okay. Yeah.
both Australian made.
Yeah. But the
Um,
Popeye one sold really well in Malta, apparently. Well, that's a deep cut.
as a
Kiddies,
deep cut.
kiddies, you got to go back and watch all our older episodes to get that gag.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't understand why we're going on about that, then you need to rewatch. So there's the thing.
So
So
what are the directions? Does it say PC or Mac only, or is it any system it'll work? We've got a couple of versions on the
it
disc.
says nothing anywhere. Um,
God,
I'm just reading the back of it. Sorry if you can or can't see me
I'm
anymore.
reading that front. Controls and commands, remote control.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't have my reader with me. I've lent it to Annabelle, but otherwise I would have popped it in to see running the digital projector. So they've got this whole thing with a
What
because
year
it's
was that? Has it got
a
a year on
multi-part
any
movie.
copyright?
1997.
What a year!
What a year!
Whatever happened to Sam Young?
Yeah. So you need to have a thing called DirectX, which I vaguely remember as being something
Right.
on your
Yeah.
computer.
Yeah.
It looks like it's only for PC, so it's not going to run on my machine. Um, if Cyberswine and the digital projector are already installed on your PC, skip this section unless you need to reinstall them. Yeah, so the old days of multi-path movies. But that's a pretty cool graphic, right? That looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yep.
Very retro. So there you go. That turned up in one of the boxes. Yeah, and I totally get why, every so often on Facebook somebody says, I've just thrown away all my artwork, I don't, and you go, no, I'll take it, I'll take your old pages, whatever. So I didn't do any of that, but there was definitely old cartooning and illustration work from uni and onwards.
Right.
And I'm
Yeah.
going, why am I like I'm not keeping this for portfolio. I'm never going to go for a job that requires this in a portfolio.
Yep, that's exactly right. I got boxes of my art director years of nice annual reports and hardcover photography books and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? I'm never going to go for a job like this ever again.
I still had folders of my photography from college find black and white photography. Still had the black and white negatives in the
Yeah.
ring bound folder. I'm going, what is this all about? But I did find a bunch of uh, drawings from when I was anything between 3 and 10, I guess, years old,
Right. Okay.
which I didn't realize I had in the bottom of a box. So I wish I'd found that before I did that folio interview a few weeks ago, because they actually would like to see, old drawings. I didn't have much to show, but there's more there now. But anyway,
Right. Okay.
so yeah, what an experience that was, trying to throw things away.
So
So
have you made the appropriate space in your garage that you wanted to?
yeah. For the kiddies at home, we're emptying as much of space as we can in the garage to create a studio space for my daughter Annabelle, to utilize for her printmaking practice. So at the moment, she's actually got two studios. One is a grant, and one she pays for. But the grant is about to run out, and the one that she pays for currently the building is under pressure to be torn down, on Parramatta Road here in Sydney,
Right.
Stanmore, I think it is,
Yep.
Leichhardt. So we said, well, this would be more permanent if we just give you a big enough space.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, she'll be moving in a couple of weeks or a month.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Tick done. Of course, you've been working on that for quite a while over the
Yeah,
year.
and Marie especially.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I just
it's giving you opportunity to uncover all these little bits of treasure from your
yeah.
life.
Yeah, and just flicking through this now, like I've got the smell of the all of that stuff that's been sitting in the garage. You can smell it coming off the pages. So I'm flicking through, and I'm already through March, and there's nothing in here. So I must have bought this diary like halfway through the year or so. It's May before there's a no, that's just a note. That's not an actual diary entry.
This is so familiar. I've got work diaries like that as well. I should have dug one out. Yeah. Well, yeah.
So there's call G&G, that'd be Gordon and Gotch, talking about distribution through newsagents.
Yeah.
Call Gordon and Gotch, mail my tax stuff to the tax agent, and then call somebody who was a freelance client at the time, whose name I'm not going to mention. I'll talk to you about that on
Right.
Club
Okay.
Domingo after dark. So there's
Here it goes.
on the right there. I think
Australian comic cattle dog.
that was probably an early idea for what turned out to be Sunburnt Comics distribution.
I like that.
Yeah. How about that? And Malcolm Knox at the Sydney Morning Herald must have been wanting to talk to me, because I've got something there saying talk to him. Microseconds. So I was either buying or selling a Mac at that point in Ultimo. But there on my right is a list of things for May, Monday the 27th. Photocopy the front cover for Comic Edge. Comic Edge was a fanzine, an Australian comics fanzine, and Trevor got a front cover thing, and we had an article in it. Photocopy the illustration for Comic Edge. Reprint a photo for Comic Edge.
What issue would be floating out and about, and then 1996? How far down?
1996. That would have been pretty late. That'd be 5, 6, 7, something like that.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were in full acceleration mode, really.
Yes, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. Number 5 came out in 1996, so it was around that time.
Yeah. Right.
And the illustration I did for the front cover of Comic Edge was in fact was Trevor dressed in a old-fashioned strongman outfit, off the shoulder leopard print with a barbells, which would have
and off the shoulder mankini.
Yeah, that's right. Which would have come to me because I was probably working on the circus issue of Green Park.
Yeah. Right.
Mail photocopies, the photo of the interview to Comic Edge. Buy a fax/answering machine at Harvey Norman. Probably because I was getting ready to do international distribution and Sunburnt distribution, which was all fax run.
Yeah.
So call Mark S regarding B&S, which would have been Bug and Stump stuff for the catalogue. Oh, Mark Sexton. Call Mark Sexton regarding Bug and Stump stuff for the catalogue. Logical Solutions, again, a Mac supplier of some sort, call them. I had to find out about my scanner adapter. So somebody had given me a scanner, a really large, extremely expensive scanner, but I needed an adapter. The Westpac Gallery, contact them regarding the Ace opening. So do you
Oh, wow.
remember
Yeah,
Ace?
yeah.
Ace is, oh no, it's downstairs, isn't it? Yeah, Ace is the exhibition. Ace stood for Australian Comics Exhibition or Comic Book Exhibition. Um, was the exhibition that spawned Bonza, the history book that is like in that series of books on Australian comics that everybody needs to have. And it started. Where was the first one? I forget where it started, but it traveled around the country, and I kind of helped out in the Sydney leg of it. And it was at what was called the Westpac Gallery. Interestingly, it was in the Westpac Gallery in the Rocks in Sydney, which I don't know what it is now. It was another gallery a couple of years ago, but I don't know what it's been in the intervening 30 years. But it's directly opposite where the tea cozy is. And if you've never been to Sydney or the Rocks and had tea and scones at the tea cozy, you absolutely have to do it. But the tea cozy is owned by Ashley, who is the husband of Anton, who is a great Australian comic book artist and cartoonist. Anton, what's Anton's last name?
Emdin?
Emdin, Anton Emdin. Yeah. So Ashley is now in charge of the Tea Cozy, which is, I think, a three-generation family business there.
Right. Okay.
And they make the best scones. I can't wait till winter every year because they have their winter scone has like cinnamon and vanilla in it, and so good. So just opposite that, there's a building with lots of glass, and that's where the Ace exhibition was. Anyway,
Right. Do you know what Anton's up to these days?
I actually do not. No.
He hasn't been around much at all on the socials, and
Yeah, he was drawing at least one book for Ando for a while.
right.
So I don't know if that was enough for him because that they take a little while to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But for the kiddies at home who don't know who Anton Emden is, it's very much this period. But he was in mini comics more so with Ross Tesoriero, Glenn Smith, that kind of set of people. Beautiful artwork always,
Yeah, yeah.
really, really kind of retro cartoony feel to it.
And he also did the first issue cover for Oi Oi Oi, Nat Carmichael's Comic Oz anthology with the koala at the drawing board.
Right, yeah. Because he's an internationally awarded cartoonist now. He's won
Yeah,
the NCS, cartooning awards. That's the American National Cartooning Society.
yeah, yeah.
I think he's the only Australian to ever draw a movie satire for American Mad Magazine. So other Australians might have been in Mad Magazine, but none of them have ever drawn one of the satires for a
Right.
film.
Yeah, yeah.
So he did a Moon. What's that? The vampire one?
Twilight.
Twilight. Yeah, he did a Twilight thing for
Wow.
that. Yeah,
An
amazing.
Australian humorist doing Twilight. That would be something to read.
Yeah.
Hmm. I'm sure the editors had fun workshopping that one.
Yeah, and a lovely guy as well. He was one of the first people I contacted when I did the 22 panels exhibition a few years ago, and his illustration ended up being the poster illustration for that.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah,
I hope
and
he's going okay because it was he was everywhere for a chunk of time then. So
yeah.
but he's just been very quiet. So yeah, hopefully he's just been squirreling away, working away on stuff.
Hopefully he's just had his head down and his bum up working on an original graphic novel that we don't even know about. How about that?
And one day he'll just come out and go, da-da! Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
That'd be amazing. We should all just be that, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Well, let's stop recording and start drawing.
Okay. Yeah. How long have we been on there? So I'll keep going. Call the Sydney Morning Herald regarding
Is
the
this just one day?
This is what I needed to get through on that day.
This is going to be a very long show.
We're not going to go through too much else, but yeah, I had to talk to Candy Baker there, and the phone number only has 7 digits instead of 8 digits. Work on the work on the cattle dog. Call Glenn Ford at Phantom Zone regarding the tour because we did a we
Yeah.
did a tour. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good one to pick up. We did a
Yeah.
Bull in the Comic Shop tour through the Phantom
Oh,
Zones. So I was organising that. Call Eddie Campbell regarding the poster for number 5. Wow, it's a good thing I've got number 5 sitting here after all, because he did again for the kiddies at home who might not have read Greener Pastures. Looks like he's not in number 5. I got a guest artist to do posters in a lot of the issues, most of the old issues. And yeah, I asked Eddie Campbell to do one, which was, I don't know, is that audacious to do so? There's Eddie Campbell's poster and ended up in number 6
right. Okay. Yeah.
with
Yep.
backers, which is cool.
Yep. 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 Both got a set of horns on them.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm.
Um,
And Eddie Campbell, of course, for the kiddies, if you're
oh
new
yeah,
to comics or anything like that, he's the artist behind From Hell with Alan Moore as the writer.
yeah,
And he had his own Bacchus Tales and Tales from the Pub and a lot of autobio or semi-autobio comics as well.
yeah.
And he was living in Brisbane for a chunk of time, and I think he's now back over in Scotland, if I'm not mistaken, or at least the UK.
I think he might be in. Is he? I don't know. He might be in New York. I'm not
Oh
sure.
well,
Anyway,
yeah,
yeah, that especially that era of both his autobiographic stuff and his eyeball kid slash Bacchus stuff. I really loved. I got so into it. It was very cool. Bacchus doing the Islands miniseries
yeah,
he did
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
Dark Horse, which was just a series of shorts vaguely connected. They were really good. I
Yeah,
loved them so
yeah.
much. And yeah, From Hell is in my top 10 best graphic novels ever written.
Have you seen any of the coloured version of From Hell?
Only online and looking at it in bookshops because otherwise I can't like I don't like it. Sorry, Eddie. Not that Eddie will ever listen, but I'll talk more about Eddie in a minute about being blunt. But
Eddie
that
Blunt, come on.
yeah, exactly. But his work in From Hell and the other stuff as well. But his work in From Hell is absolutely incredible. Black and white illustration, made and conceived and visioned in black and white. And then Eddie did the color work, but I don't know that Eddie has the right sensitivity for taking what is really good black and white artwork and giving it a color treatment. I think it needed not a colorist, but a designer. I think it needed a designer rather than a colorist.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the couple of pages I've seen online have been, I prefer to keep my black and white copy.
Yeah, I tell people to buy that book because it's one of the best comics ever created.
Yeah.
But I say make sure you get the black and white version, otherwise you possibly may not like it. And
Yeah.
you may even wonder why you're reading it because
Yeah.
I've
And there
read
are
some
many
of his
versions.
other color stuff.
Yeah. He's approached it from a color point of view, though. That's when he's,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
the black and white version of From Hell, there's many versions of that to keep an eye out for different paper stocks, different versions of things as well. So
yeah,
it's been reprinted and reissued a lot of times.
yeah.
So beyond the call for cash, I wonder what the thought process behind getting it coloured was.
I'm pretty sure it was I'm pretty sure he has said outright himself that it was a cash grab.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah. But anyway, it's his work, and I believe, like a lot of things, Alan Moore has said, do whatever you like with it, Eddie. It's
Yeah. Right. Okay. Now he was
well,
floating around.
one of his autobio stories around that time was really cool. And as a aspiring comic book artist, you kind of sit there and go, oh, that could be me one day. Was the number one the nightmare he was having that when the movie was coming out and the trade paperback was ready. I think there was like a bit of since they were happening at the same time, and they paid for the print run themselves, Alan and Eddie, or maybe it was just Eddie the way that this was coming across, and he was just having this nightmare of the truck that has every single copy of From Hell driving across like a bridge and then going off the bridge. He goes, "Oh my money, like we're done for." And then the fact that the movie came in and the movie's terrible. Like, never watched the movie. The movie is I had no idea what they were playing with. The book is so good, and then the movie is like any other
Stick
Jack the
to the
Ripper.
book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um,
And cast
but
correctly. I mean, like bloody hell. I mean,
yeah,
the most
I
important
know.
casting decision to carry the whole movie, and they miscast it so
Yeah,
horribly.
Johnny Depp.
No,
But
Heather
there's an
Graham. Heather Graham was just bad for that movie. No,
oh,
no,
was she?
only
Oh,
joking. Only joking.
okay. But there's an autobio story where he relates the fact that he went up to his then wife with a check and said, "Go buy yourself a house. Make sure it's a nice one." And you go, "Wow, that's pretty good success, right? That you can do that on." And like I know that we're getting very tangential from the diary, and if we don't get back to the diary, it doesn't matter. But I'm reading the Substack, one or two entries a night of James Tinian the Fourth, Batman writer, but also Something's Killing the Children, and quite a few other bits and pieces. And I don't follow him, so all I know is what he was doing in 2021 because that's where I'm up to on his
Right.
Substack. But just the other night, I was reading one where he was saying, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I'm sure like this is not having a crack at him because this is an important conclusion to come to, but it's this whole cyclical thing that you were referring to earlier, right? He's sitting there in his Substack going, I've been thinking about this a lot, and it seems to me that the current way that a cartoonist or comic book creator can make the best use of their career is to start in the indies doing capes and tights, for one of at any level until you're noticed by one of the big two, and then you work for Marvel and DC until you've got a really big fan following, and then you take that fan following with you as you work on your creator-owned IP. And he's saying, this is the way that we should all be doing it. I'm going, that's exactly what was happening in the 90s. Like
Yeah.
there were people who were starting at First Comics or I don't know who else, ASL, et cetera, et cetera. And then, well, like Dale, I know Dale Cowan is very much capes and tights all the way through. But, it started, am I pronouncing it right, Keown? Dale
Yeah.
Keown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keown. Keown.
It started on Dragon Ring, and then that turned into Dragon Force, which was and this is for Aircel, I think, or
Right.
was it? Anyway, one of those black and
And the
white.
Malibu companies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he got noticed by Marvel, and then did an amazing run on the Incredible Hulk, which is totally built for him, and just looked incredible. And he was still not quite ready, I reckon, in the first couple of issues of the Hulk. But by the end, he was like just a superstar. And then went to Image. When Image broke away, he went to Image and did the Pit, right? So he owned the Pit. Of
Yeah.
course, all of that means nothing now because I don't know that he even makes comics anymore. But it's like it's not like this is new, James. It's like this is pretty much what Eddie was doing as well. He was making his autobio weird stuff, and then he actually got work for Marvel, DC, and some superhero stuff for Dark Horse, and From Hell, and was getting more of a name through that mainstream stuff before going back to his autobio stuff and hoping to make a living from that.
But what if you don't have those opportunities, though?
Exactly, that's right. And what if you don't care for it? What if you
What if you don't care for it? Exactly.
I have no desire to.
Yeah.
At my old age, anyway. But I at no point after probably age 21 or so did I think I'm ever going to work for Marvel or DC. I don't have the right skill set, and I don't feel like developing that skill set anymore.
Yeah.
So,
I think, well, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that even if you were to ignore America and that whole industry and look after your own ideas in a general publishing way, might be more salient for someone instead of following the advice of get a job at Marvel, get a following, then go off and do your indie stuff. That was fine in the 90s or in the 2000s, but I think that those opportunities have shriveled the more corporate Marvel and DC have become.
Yeah, no, totally.
And as I say, what if you don't have the kind of look or feel that Marvel and DC are looking for, but you're very creative, you've got hot ideas, you just need to find a home that best promotes and publicizes those ideas, if not self-publish.
Yeah. So to take a little bit further and to give James, I think James Tinian the Fourth, the credit of he was extrapolating a little bit further, which I think he's really on the money now, is that he was then saying, and I think that the mainstream of comics in America is actually not going to be superheroes for too much longer. That we may keep on calling it mainstream, but it's probably not actually the
Yeah,
mainstream that we all think it is, and
yeah,
it's going to get smaller and smaller. And I think we all kind of know this to a great extent, and that the readership will continue to get older and older and more niche. It's a much more niche thing.
or
Why we call it,
superhero comics.
yes, yeah, yeah. And why we call it mainstream when it's actually like extraordinarily niche now. The fact
Yeah,
that you need to have even someone like me who's not as old as some of the older fans, you kind of go, there's so much back knowledge that you seem to have to need to have to enjoy what you're reading.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
so it becomes more niche. And he's saying, so it may be a bit of a gateway drug, but people will go from that into the creator owned IP pretty quickly,
yep,
or they'll leave comics entirely.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I think he's right. I think that's where we're going.
Yep, yep, I would agree as well. But the dependence, that career pathway of getting a couple of gigs at a major publisher overseas, that'll reflect or turn into a successful pathway for you to do your own IPs.
Yeah,
I think that's a bit of a folly these
yeah,
days.
yeah, yeah. Who's self-publishing nowadays? I know we've asked this question before, but in America, let's say, who's in North America, who's self-publishing? Like, does it even happen? Is Terry Moore still like, is he the only self-publisher really there now? Everybody, again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, is everybody co-opting in Australia, creating a co-op?
No,
And
no, not hardly anyone is. Who's co-opting these days?
in America,
No, in Australia.
no, sorry, did I misspeak? I mean in America, like is that what's
Oh,
happening in America? There were like really small boutique publishers by name, but really co-ops in nature. Um,
not that I'm aware of. I don't think that is necessarily a trend. Uh,
pulp is a pulp power like that. I think that's
yeah,
one. But yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
that's
Maybe it's not a trend. I don't know.
maybe there are more exceptions to that way of doing things than the rule.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, I still think the more logical pathway, if you have an idea at all that you think is worth pushing, hitting Image first would be one of the first things to do, and understanding how they work and the kind of stuff that they're looking for, and pitching it to what are the other publishers that are. If you want to get into the American market at all, it might
yeah,
be more worthwhile investing your energy into finding out about European publishers, Asian publishers,
yeah,
generic above ground publishers that are open, that are looking to get into the comics field and the graphic novel field, and just
yeah.
bypassing Marvel and DC completely, because that's a different
Oh,
race with a different
totally.
muscles.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And I think also, to be honest, there's Marvel and DC, and then there's, I guess, Dark Horse and maybe then IDW. I don't know, or Image, sorry, and then Dark Horse, IDW, and then you start getting down into who is it, like Dynamite and
the
I don't know,
Mad Cave and
Mad Cave. Yeah, yeah.
people like
Uh,
that. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, and I think you can go directly from Mad Cave as an example into owning your own IP and being quite or successful enough,
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think it's a pretty interesting kind of little um, piece of history at the moment in
Yeah, yeah. There's
section
lots
of
of opportunities there, and it doesn't make the job any easier, but there are still a lot of opportunities that aren't necessarily as obvious as they were 20 years ago.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So and like, do you think, I know that we gave Louis more airtime than he deserves because he's such a jerk last week, but but do you think Louis is like a really good example of that? Because Louis, like with Ryan K. Lindsay and a few other writers, has been doing stuff at that Mad Cave, Dynamite kind of level, right?
Yep.
Um, uh, and has been noticed by people who own or license the IP for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Godzilla. So he's like at that point now where hopefully his fan base has grown from whatever size it was, like has double, tripled, 10 times what it was. At least the knowledge of who Louis Joyce is
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
fandom has like exponentially increased, and that hopefully he can then create his own IP either with a writer or by
Yep.
himself
Yeah.
as one of the next projects,
Yeah.
to capitalize on that. I think like isn't that like the great way to look at a career path at the
Mm.
moment?
I think he's in a great position. So
Yeah,
for that to happen, and again, not really traditional superheroes in any way, shape, or form.
at no point. No. I mean,
But
he's a great fan of all of that. He loves the X-Men. It's we
yeah,
after Scamp, we were all sitting around in the pub, and we talk came around to superheroes eventually, and somebody said like, what's if you could only read one superhero thing, what would it be? And I'm going, I reckon it'd be the Fantastic Four. I've always thought that was and he looked at me and went, what? It's the X-Men. Obviously, it's the X-Men. So yeah, he's a huge fan of the X-Men.
yeah,
So
right. With the travails that Marvel are going through at the moment, I was listening to something somewhere where they say, what would you do if you were given the reins to fix something like the X-Men? Because apparently there's a lot of kerfuffle going on that the storylines from the last 5 years have failed dismally, the Krakoa period. And I'm no expert whatsoever, but to actually, in desperation, be given the reins of the X-Men to say, right, what's your idea to get sales back up again for this? How do we reboot, or what do we do to save the title? And I've been thinking about that a little bit, not too much, but just as a little bit of a fancy on the side. Just wondering if you had any thoughts on what you would do.
no,
Put on
no
put on the
idea.
spot. Put on the spot.
No idea. No way. I've got no
It,
idea.
it
It,
suffers from having too much luggage attached to
yeah,
it.
that's right. It's collapsing under its own weight, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I thought, look, again, this is old man speak coming, but when DC decided to do Crisis the first time with Marv Wolfman and George Perez, and say we're putting a full stop on all of the history, all the backstory, and all the fact that we've got all these different multi-dimensional versions of Earth and 5 different Supermans, etc., and we're going to collapse it all into one and almost kind of start again, and nobody needs to know anything. I thought that was great, and I'm an old school fan. I thought that was a great idea, but within I don't know what it was 5 years, they were already messing that up, and it's
Yeah,
like, well,
yeah,
I don't give it. I have no faith in Marvel or DC to be able to re-establish their universe in such a fashion that it's not gonna have the luggage.
yeah. Right. Okay.
Because the luggage, especially now that they're owned by Warner Brothers and Disney or whoever, the luggage is the cash cow.
Yeah, that's
Is
right.
is what needs to be strip mined. So it's
Yeah.
yeah.
It's going to be interesting in the next couple of years when the copyright opens up for the public domain in a lot of these things. But anyway, as far as I went with the X-Men, I thought a clean slate of having inventing a character that is an entryway character for the reader to follow as they go to Professor Xavier's school, and it's all been shut down. And so they're looking around the empty building. They break in and they look around the building. There is someone in the building living there, but that's the entryway point into uncovering the X universe. So you cherry pick what you want to reintroduce. Like maybe the person who's living there is Wolverine, or like pick another popular character, and then it starts to slowly open up very carefully the world of what the school was in past tense and what to reintroduce in a modern story. And just flopping that over to DC, if I was given Batman to do, what would I do to fix Batman? Not that it needs fixing because it's the best-selling thing at the moment, would be killing the Joker, having a homicidal bad guy wanting to establish themselves in Gotham. So what's the best way to establish themselves in Gotham is by taking out all the big guns that have been there for the last 80 or so years. So, Batman's used to fighting the Joker and how predictable that relationship has become. But if he's got to try and track down the guy that murdered the Joker, how bad is this guy? And how does Batman handle that upgrade to his alter ego or his best mirror reflection being taken out?
So the biggest issue, though, Gary, is the fact that style of comics, superhero Marvel DC comics, is that they were built in the 60s and prior, but in the 60s and maybe even in the 70s to have a turnover of readers, and that
Yeah,
people
you're
would
right.
read for 5 years only, and then we could just tell the same stories again, and no one would know.
Yeah.
And but they've been doing that and just trying to up the style, I guess. And by style, I mean not just the visual style, but also the storytelling style and how violent it gets, and et cetera, et cetera. But they've continued to just repeat the stories ad
Yeah.
nauseum. And I'm not saying anything new. This is what you know.
Well, even then, I feel silly having done my X-Men idea and my Batman idea, actually recounting it on camera. It's like, well, that's that done and out the way. I don't have to think about it anymore, and
That's exactly right.
that's probably the best way of handling it.
I'm pretty sure that X-Men one has been done. That
Oh, okay.
version,
Yeah,
like
right.
not from me reading it, but I'm pretty sure that was like one of the opening gambits of one of the X-Men movies, one of the new class version.
Oh, right. Okay.
It might have been the Days of Future Past one. I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
It was
Okay.
like it's all been
Yeah.
abandoned, and
And
so
I've
that
got a
stuff.
feeling that the death of the Joker has been done before as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But just yeah. Anyway, so enough
yeah,
energy put into that direction because it's dead end, really, as you
yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah.
Cyclical corporate comics.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that like I read a lot of comics, like a lot of superhero comics for a while, but the fact that I could read Iron Man until I got sick of it meant, well, I'm sick of it now. It's probably not worse. It's not gotten worse. It's just I'm tired of Tony Stark, I read that era that was mostly Michelini, David Michelini, and
Yeah.
and Bob Layton and
Yeah.
associated artists. And then it kind of went away from that. I'm going, I don't think I need this anymore. And same with reading like Daredevil. I was lucky enough to be reading Daredevil pretty much from Frank Miller's day one, until it got kind of well past that. And I'm going, nothing new here. And I stopped reading it. So
Yeah.
that is the cycle that you should go through.
I think that's healthy. I think that's healthy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For some people, their favorite, it's people who are not that much younger than me, because as you get older, people who are younger than you don't feel like they're that much younger than they used to be. So who am I thinking of? Was it Camilo? I think it might be Camilo. But anyway, for some people, their favorite period of the X-Men it was the Mark Silvestri, Outback Australia, Mark Silvestri and Dan Green. And when I was reading, I was going, "This is the worst stuff I've ever read," and I hate the art, and that's personal taste because it's obviously good. Because for some people, that is the best thing that they've ever read in the X-Men, and it's never
Of
been
course, it
better.
hit them at their time of life where
That's
they
right.
it affected them.
Yep,
Cool.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's
So
no
for
right or
me,
wrong.
it's Byrne and Cochrom's second run and Paul Smith and all of that stuff. Even I think by the time Romita Jr. was on it, I was excited because I liked his art. But at that stage, I was going, this starts to feel like it's falling apart,
Yeah.
too heavy under its own luggage, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Ah,
Wow.
yes.
Oh wow, two old men reminiscing about their comic book reading. So there you go. So that was Kitties. That was Monday, 27th
That's a big Monday.
of 19 May 1996. So on Tuesday, I had a list nearly as long. So I don't know if I was working from home or I can't remember what I was doing in 1996 proper professionally. Maybe I was working from home a few days a week, looking after the kids and doing this while I can't even remember. So yeah, I'm not going to do any more pages because it just goes on and on and on.
Well, just do one more. Do a random grab. Just grab any old page, like in October or something, and just do a random selection of what looks interesting
Yeah, let's
and
go.
what quits.
Let's go a number of months. Mm. Just generally, look, I'm looking through here. It's like Call Recovery, so that television show, the Saturday morning
Oh,
television
recovery.
show,
Yeah,
Call
right.
Recovery,
Yeah,
Call the Book Show, Call Cheese TV. People who I'd been on before or was organizing to be on television specifically.
right.
Um, you know,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. 5:30 p.m. book show. So I don't know if that was somebody was going to be on the book show and watch it, or whether I was supposed to be on the book show. Um, yeah, chase a t-shirt quote because we had t-shirts made for that bull in a comic shop
Right.
that- that's a Glenn Ford
Ah,
early Photoshop painting over the top
that's nice.
of my greener pastures. I think #1 reprint, possibly over that. I'm not sure.
Right. Yep. Okay.
Um, fax the delivery info to Gordon and Gotch. Fax the delivery info to MP. Who would that have been? Media Press, maybe. Call Glenn Ford regarding a meeting. Chase a T-shirt quote.
Well,
Fax
tell
the
the kiddies
registration.
who Glenn Ford was just very quickly. He was the owner operator of Phantom
Oh,
Zone for a chunk of years.
yeah, one of the owners
Yep.
of Phantom Zone,
Yep.
which was you can see there how many Phantom Zones there were at the
Yeah,
time.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
There was quite a few there: Chatswood,
Yep.
Civic, Gosford, Liverpool, Newcastle, Parramatta, Wollongong. And we did a tour where we did a signing in every shop over, I think it was 3 weekend period.
Yep.
Um, Again, that was me modeling my uh, self-publishing on Dave Sim and Cerebus and
Yep.
what he
Yep.
was doing and going, well, let's do a tour. Let's see what we can do to drum up. When I met people like Marcelo Baez there that I'm still great friends with, and so yeah, it was interesting time.
And speaking of
Um,
Marcelo, his graphic novel looks like he's finished the art on
oh my God, yes, Van Pan,
Van Payne.
Van
Yeah.
Pan,
Van Pan. Van
and
Pan.
it ends with A-double-N-E, Van Pan, and he
Van Pan.
I know. Every time
Hey.
he talks about it, people go Van Payne, and he has to correct them. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Van Pan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right. Okay, but anyway, the point being that he's been working on this thing in his
yeah,
spare time for a long time, and
yeah,
he's finally worked on the last couple of pages over the last
yeah,
week. So hopefully in 2026, sometime real soon, that'll be published and out and about as well, which I'm really looking forward to.
yeah. Looks amazing. It's
Mm.
a vampire woman, but really, really well considered design, not just of the character, but of the art, how the art
Yeah,
is going to be
yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So let's look at October. You did say October.
Okay, random October.
Look at that. Look at that double page spread of the stuff I was doing.
Double page, inked by who?
And this is none of this is drawing pages, right? This
Yeah, it
is
is. Yes, that's a good observation.
if
Yeah,
if you really want to make me cry. One of the things that occurred to me while I was cleaning out the garage was I don't think I've changed. I don't think I'm any further ahead. I still make plans, right? And execute plans, but then, something happens, I run out of steam or life gets in the way or, and it's so hard to get where you want to go, even with all of this planning and thinking.
yeah,
Mail
yeah.
diamond pack. So this is when I was doing diamond distribution as well. Mail or deliver stuff to 3D World. So that was one of the street press. Called KSL. They were the people who made the film for the printing, the comic book printing. Called Don Ticchio. I don't know what that was for, but I had to call Don Ticchio. Don Ticchio was
Mm.
part of Silver Fox. I had to fax the trading card material to Glenn because we had a trading card made specially for that.
Yep, yep, yep.
And those trading cards go for hundreds of dollars now. The Greener Pastures trading card, Phantom trading card. Call or fax the stuff to Art House for the t-shirts. So that must be who did the t-shirts. So this is like there are connections here between May and October of stuff that I was doing in May, finally paying off in October. Start following up media this for covering the tour. Call Marcel, I think, at the t-shirt place.
Mhm.
Buy the Diamond catalog with the October
That's
cover.
not in 96, that's 30 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you haven't changed.
No. What does it say? Put something in for sunburn. I had to put my form in for sunburn. We were probably still co-oping at that point. Call somebody. Oh, call Rotary Offset the reprinting of #1. Show do something about blow up the covers. Blow up covers. It must have been blowing up covers. Sunburn Comics distribution intro. I had to write that. Go to the pub. Finally, something that makes sense. I've
Yeah.
actually got it as a point. Go to pub. What was that for? Something must have been going on, and that might have been
A
like
Yugle?
the remnants of the Yugle Club on a
What
Tuesday
what
night.
day? What day of the week? Tuesday?
That's a Tuesday.
That's unusual. Yeah,
No,
but
it was a
still,
weeknight for quite a while.
yeah, right. I remember it being Thursday night for a chunk of time when I was at Chippendale for a
Yeah.
while when I was living there.
Wow. So there you go.
I'll have to dig out mine to see how informed they are, how well I wrote my notes.
Yeah. I found other things, correspondence between Michael and I, Michael, the co-creator of Greener Pastures, and what we were trying to achieve. And I'm going, wow, all these plans, and I'm standing in the shower formulating plans in 2026, and it's really the same formulation that I'm getting.
Isn't that an interesting takeaway of the whole thing, that nothing much has really changed?
Yeah. And the biggest thing is do the pages. It's got to be, right? You got to get the pages done. If you
All
don't
that
have
other
pages,
work, all that phoning of people and marking things in diaries is all secondary to the.
yeah,
You got to have something to flog.
yeah.
What's that T-shirt you're wearing?
And well, I'll get to that in a second. But like we've said numerous times, all of this work, we need somebody who is not a creative to take it over. And if there's a co-op to be created in Australia to help the comic book makers, that is what it needs to be. It needs to be somebody who can take over all of that stuff so that I can sit at my drawing board
Yep.
and draw, and the
Yep.
writer can sit and write. So yeah. The T-shirt, that's just that's the old 30th anniversary T-shirt, Greener Pastures 30th anniversary T-shirt.
Nice, yeah.
2 years old now.
But I think that's as far as boiling everything down, I think you've got it in a nutshell, that there needs to be distribution, and to solve that problem, there needs to be someone who's not a creator that's going to handle all that as a full-time thing to get it up and running for the disparate publishers of the country.
Exactly. Before we go, here's a little diary from 1991. So I was in Europe in 1991, and we lived in England in London for like 4 or 5 months or so.
Okay.
So I bought a little diary to do the same thing that I was doing,
Yeah.
5 years later, to keep track of things. So I've just opened up to November, and in November, on Wednesday, the 6th of November, I went and saw Lunig at the Purcell Room at South Bank. He did a talk, and I met him. And the following Saturday, on the 9th, at Forbidden Planet, is that what it's called?
Planet, yeah.
I met Stan Lee.
Wow.
On the following day, I met with a guy called George. The words here are Meet Comic George. I don't know who that is. At Portland Street Tube Station. I don't know what that was about, but I was meeting some other comic creator. At the same time, there was a computer graphics expo that I was going to go to, and a manga exhibition that was showing at one of the galleries.
Right.
So yeah, and then the following Saturday, I met Stanley again because I got him to sign something. No, I got a photo with him the first time, and then I brought it the second time and got him to sign the photo of me and Stanley. So that's 1991. All you people thinking that I got my photo taken with Stanley at Supernova or whatever. I did that in 1991, and it cost me nothing, and there were no guards around.
Yeah.
Met him twice in the space of 8 days.
That's amazing. I'm going to dig out my diaries for the next show and have a bit of a.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
They may not be as complete as yours or as informative, but I've still got them all there, so I'll see. And yeah, varying sizes as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just buy whatever you can.
Yeah. Just as a memory nudge, like, is that what I was doing in 1993? I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. And I think that was everything. Was there something else I was about to grab? I can't remember now. I don't know. Whatever.
Okay, is that it?
Oh, that'll do me.
Okay. Well,
draw comics, guys. More comics, more often. That's what I say.
Bye.
Bye.